I ain't that kind of
Our Ken, man, we haven't been on the show in so long. We at the park, we at Avalon Park, somewhere on the south side, right?
Yep.
Nice, peaceful day.
Beautiful
and I
day.
say that because sometimes in our hectic day, that's all we need to do is to go, it sounds corny, get in touch with nature. One here in Chicago, we have this beautiful lake, Lake Michigan out there. People who have never seen it, they see it for the first time. They say, wow, it looks like an ocean. They think they can see the other side. But we take it for granted because we can live in Chicago, you know, I've been here all my life, and we may actually go see the lake, actually physically go down to the beach maybe once a year. Some people 5 and 10 years. They live in Chicago. The beach is right down the street, and we never go see the lake because we're so busy, so hectic. We don't even go to the little parks or our little neighborhood, just sit here. This is what was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're taping this. Just sit here and chill, relax. It's peaceful out here.
It is that.
No gangbangers. You here with the earth and sun and the moon and everything. How come we don't take time to just chill and get in touch with the earth, sun and sky?
You know, it's a challenge to just slow down. You know, you feel like that you have so much to do, and everything that you have to do is so important.
Right.
And you can't back away from it for a moment. Not even a moment. You know, you have to constantly be getting things done. I mean, you have to multitask. You can't just do one thing. You have to do 5, 6, 7 things at one time to really prove your worth. I mean, this means something. And of course, you have to be able to talk on the phone and drive a car. And it doesn't matter whether they tell you that that's not really a good thing to do. You need to multitask because multitasking is the thing that it's all about. But, you know, we talked earlier about the spirituality of things, and even if you look at the process of how the world universe was put together, if you buy into that in the Bible situation, and there are other stories that are pretty similar in other different faiths, and it says, and after a certain period there's a rest.
Yes.
You have to rest.
Right.
You have to pull back. You have to find that time to go to the park. You have to find that time to go to the beach. You have to find that time to appreciate nature. You have to find that time to appreciate appreciation.
What about watching television? Watching movies all day, arguing with your family. That ain't rest.
No, that's far from rest, because
you know, when our days off, that's what we do. We argue, we fuss, we do a little housework, we watch TV all day. That's not rest on our day off.
Not at all. It doesn't give you an opportunity to let your mind just stop and connect with itself, without any gadgets, without any people even, but a time for your mind to connect with itself. And I'm not talking about meditation. I'm not talking about doing anything deep. I'm just talking about some quiet time, just like you mentioned earlier. Walking in the darn park, walking along the lake, walking wherever it is, going out in your backyard and putting a daggone seat out there with a glass of water and just say, put a sign up, do not disturb for the next half an hour. Just enough time for you, your inner you, to recognize itself. You know, it just needs a moment to recognize itself, and once it recognizes itself, it allows you to recognize it.
I think, you know, you can look in the camera, talk to people at home, but I think the hardest thing to do, for me, I'm a chatterbox. I'm like, if you see me, I'm I'm on the phone all day. It's hard to be, for me, probably for most people, to be quiet, to be in a home with no radio, no TV, and be quiet. I know, you know, in the city, you know, we hear the sirens and the cars going, but just, you know, just be by yourself. It's frightening to be by yourself with no radio, no television, nobody on the phone you yakking to.
You know, that's the difference of being alone and being lonely. And you have to understand, because you are alone, that doesn't mean you're lonely. Because nobody's in your life at that particular moment doesn't make you lonely. You have to define loneliness. What is loneliness for you as an individual? But being alone, you're not alone because you're with yourself. And you know, there's a ebb and flow within you that needs to be recognized so you can express it. You know what I mean? I don't want that to sound crazy. I'm saying there's an up and down, there's an in and out that goes on within you. And when you're multitasking, when you're doing all of this and you don't set aside the time for yourself, you lose yourself. And you don't have a clue of how your ebb and flow goes, your up and down goes. You don't have a clue. And therefore, you're just acting without even being you, because you don't understand you. So being alone is not being lonely. There's times when we need to just be alone. You know, we talked earlier this week about walking. And I told you I hadn't gotten up to a specific point.
Yeah, we walk over here. I didn't know there was a walking trail over here, man. Yeah. You're up to 5 miles now.
Yeah, I'm up to 5
Wow.
at this point, which is, you know, it's not a lot, but it's great.
I can do about a block.
Well, a block is good. and I like to take that same scenario with being alone.
Yeah.
You don't have to try to be alone for an hour, for a day. You don't have to go on a retreat. Try to be alone for a minute, 2 minutes. You know, I'm not going to talk on the phone for this minute. I'm not going to listen to the radio. I'm not going to look at TV. I'm just going to sit here in my car with the windows rolled up, the engine off for a minute, and just allow that which is in me to contact me so that we can be one. We can act as one.
The camera's going to go off, the signal's going to flash, and so I got to say this real quick. I'm talking about the silence because I listened to the great Brian Tracy years ago. He said if you have a problem, he's talking actually to executives, believe it or not.
Right.
But it's applied to anybody. If you have a challenge, you have a question, he said, go sit in a chair and be quiet. He said, what? What do you mean? No, go sit in a chair and be quiet. Like, what's the Bible say? Be still and know?
Yep.
It's really amazing if you could just shut your mouth and sit down. And I remember when I wrote a few books years ago and whatnot, and I write better if I can just shut up and just be quiet. All of a sudden, the ideas start popping out. Or if you have a challenge, you know what to do. It's like the answers come. I don't care if you think the answers come from within or from the heavens. It don't matter. The answers are going to show up. Do you believe that?
They you know, if you're talking, they can't show up because whatever this creator, whatever concept it is not forceful. It is one that works with you. So if you continually talk, if you continually are busy, then it says, well, I won't interrupt you. I'll let you keep on handling it. But when you stop, it says, okay, I can now come in. You've invited me in. You've allowed me to bring my wisdom to the situation. And I'm willing, I'm able, I desire to bring it, but I won't just input myself into your situation until you allow me to input myself. And when you allow me to, you'll know that I've always been there, but you haven't been listening. You haven't been listening because you've been too busy trying to do it yourself, too busy chattering, too busy looking out externally for answers. And all you have to do is be still and know.